Hi, Ed with the Alternative Wellness Center here today with Bho Johnson. Bho is a rising star in the industry. He's one of the high quality hash makers out there right now. He focuses on butane or solvent extraction. And basically what we're trying to do is we want to bring in people that we work with as much as possible, one, so that the rest of the industry and our patients can become comfortable with who these people are and where we get our different products from, and also a way of paying it forward and allowing quality, dedicated, passionate people like Bho to get their name and their product out there and just get people dialed in on it. It's amazing stuff. And Bho, thank you for joining us today. Really excited. He just made a batch of earwax hash for us. We're really excited about getting this on the shelf. Can you explain a little bit about it?
Yeah, this batch came out awesome. It was pretty much a blend of the Alternative Wellness house strains, and I ran it through, did a heat and vacuum purge for it. It came out extremely clean. It's got a really nice flavor. It's surprising. You can actually smell the sage over like the rest of it. It's got a really interesting smell to it, but you can actually smell the sage in it. It's got like I said, just a really clean flavor, a clean hit, and just
really looking forward to trying it tonight. What about, we were talking a little bit before the camera started rolling about the different methods, one of making hash and water extraction versus butane extraction, and also the different ways of how to smoke it. There's a lot of people that are watching this, I'm sure, that are familiar with concentrates, but there's probably quite a few that are not. If you could touch upon that.
Oh, definitely. There's a really wide range of concentrates, especially in Denver and in this industry. People are really stepping it up a notch and taking it to the next level. Y'all have some really great water hash on your shelves from Nicotine. He makes an amazing product. And I feel that everything has its place. Water hash has a wonderful flavor. It's got a great high to it. It's very clean. For me personally, I have serious problems with pain and also chronic nausea, so the wax helps me out a lot. It regulates my digestive system.
And why is it? Is it because the percentage is higher regarding the
I feel that it's the concentration. For water hashes, because at the final product, you're ending up with the full trichome head. You still have the shell of the trichome, so there still is, in any respect, some plant material left. With a butane extract, you're actually extracting the essential oil only. So you have
not the actual shell of the trichome.
You actually destroy the trichome shell and remove the oil from inside of it. So that's why it can come out with that oily, waxy consistency, and you can also get a higher percentage of your total cannabinoids.
Because it's more concentrated.
Yeah, exactly. There's less plant matter left to it. It's just the essential oil of the plant that's left. It's very similar to the process used for CO2, liquid nitrogen extraction, stuff like that. It's just a supercritical. You run an extremely cold solvent liquid through the plant matter, and whenever you purge off that solvent, what's left is the wax. I've always been a stoner. Whenever I moved here, obviously got my red card and became a patient because I do have issues that can be helped by it, just like I feel that just about everybody does. And I was always fascinated by concentrates, especially being where I'm from, not having access to anything like that. So as soon as I got here, having done all the research that I had done on it, learning all the processes and everything, I decided to try it for myself, and everybody really enjoyed the process or the product. So I just kept going from there, and it snowballed, and sitting here with you guys.
Well, we're really excited about hooking up with you. Definitely somebody that, once again, very high quality, integrity person, very dedicated, and very passionate about the industry, and that's exactly what we want to work with.
Well, the potential's there with the product and with the industry. It's only going to get better from now on. So it's people like you, it's people like the rest of us in the industry that are really stepping up and making a quality product, and something that we can proudly call medicine instead of what they think we are.
And speaking of that, you mentioned earlier, you said, I've been using hash for some time, and correct me if I'm wrong, according to the situations that you're trying to remedy regarding the nausea and the pain that you deal with. I remember in the prior conversations that we had, you mentioned that you needed to go to a higher concentration to help alleviate those conditions. Is that something that has that been part of what's been happening here?
That's a big part of it. Just the access that I've had to it by making it. I mean, it makes it so much easier. I really don't even smoke very much actual flower anymore.
And what's the advantage? What would the advantage be for a patient to, why would somebody want to go towards concentrates versus regular bud?
Well, whenever we're talking about somebody who is a terminal cancer patient or a terminal AIDS patient or one of these, some multiple sclerosis or somebody that's just really
serious
sick that needs the help of this plant, whenever you hand them a joint that's at most maybe 25% THC.
I'm sorry, not to downplay the less serious ailments, because a lot,
Oh, of course.
Everybody has the different levels of pain management and pain tolerance. But I think right now we're talking about ones that ailments that a bit more extreme, such as cancer, a bit more intense.
And we're talking about everybody, but we're talking about a specific group. We're talking about quality of medicine. If I can give somebody a joint that has at most 25% cannabinoids in it, why should I give them that whenever I can give them one hit of this oil that's going to be at least 70%?
So in other words,
they'll get the same effect.
So they can smoke less?
Smoke less and get the same effect or more effect. If I had to sit down and smoke actual plant matter to get as high as I have to get in the morning and actually be able to eat and function, I'd be sitting there for 3 hours smoking joints constantly.
Probably more costly, I would imagine, too.
But I mean, for 3 or 4 or 5 dabs, and I'm ready to start my day. And granted, I have a very high tolerance. Somebody that's just starting out with it, one dab will probably get you set for 3 or 4 hours. But that's the difference. You smoke a joint once an hour, or you take a dab and you go about your day. So that's where we're looking at it. And for somebody who is with one of those more serious ailments and needs the higher concentration so that they can eat or so that they can actually function, giving somebody something with a much higher concentration will allow them to actually be able to do that.
So the two benefits really would be higher concentration so they can take less medicine, and 2, less plant matter. And even though there's no, correct me if I'm wrong, there's no documented case of lung cancer being attributed specifically to cannabis smoking, but at the same time, common sense tells us that smoking burnt plant matter is probably it's an irritant for your lungs.
Smoke is bad for the lungs. That's why even with the oils, I recommend using something like the essential vaporizer. Something that you use a lower heat over a longer period of time, and it boils off more slowly. That way, it's very similar to using just a regular vaporizer with plant matter. You get more of the cannabinoids and less of the harmful, the tar and everything else.
And you're bringing up a great point, because the vape, when you do vape, we're of course heating the bud to the point of it releasing vapors, in contrast to actually burning it. And the benefit with that is, one, once again, there's no smoke, but 2, we, as you just mentioned, we retain all of the cannabinoids. That's a point that I think needs to be addressed a bit more in our industry, the fact that there's different ways of ingesting or medicating, whether it's with concentrates or bud or edibles for that matter. And when we smoke, we do lose a certain percentage of the cannabinoids. Now, I prefer smoking myself, but we do lose a certain percentage of the cannabinoids when we smoke.
Well, and that's the great thing about it is, like you just said, you prefer to smoke, to each his own. That's why I love all of the different kinds of concentrates, because what works for me might not work best for you.
That's right.
So it's better to have the access to the different kinds and have somebody that's willing to teach you and willing to explain the different ways to go about it. And that way you can figure out what's going to work best for your situation, because everybody's different, and especially in this industry, I mean, there's so many ailments that fall under things that cannabis can help with, because it can help with them. That, I mean,
well, we have so many receptors all throughout our body, and I mean, literally,
it's going to affect everybody completely differently.
I mean, from from our brain down to all organs in our body, or the vast majority of them, have CB1, CB2 receptors, and the cannabinoids lock into them. And so that is why it's effective for so many different ailments. Well, I think what we're hearing here is that this is another method or option for patients, whether if they want to reduce the amount of smoking that they're doing, they want to go with a higher concentration of THC and cannabinoids. This would be a great way to go, but as you mentioned also, I think it really comes down to everybody's individual preference. So what can we expect in the future regarding different types of hash?
The future is going to be nice. Here in hopefully the next week or so, we should be starting to have strain-specific waxes on the shelf. Like I said earlier, this one is a nice blend of all the house strains, but hopefully here in the near future we'll have the sage jar with the sage wax, and so on and so forth down the line. We'll have all the strain-specific for the ones that y'all grow, as well as a blended a sativa blend and an indica blend for anybody that wants just a nice little mix of the strains.
That sounds good. Hey, and one last thing, some contact information?
The contact information will be in the description below the video. Y'all can check that out. It'll be my Facebook page. Feel free to contact me. Any Colorado patients or dispensaries that are wanting to work with me, hit me up. I'm ready to go.
Thank you.